So Journey coming back with you with another video. So make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe. You know everything that's going on with Hurricane Helen or Helene. It's a conspiracy going around, and I have some different things that I want to bring out to y'all that I didn't know that was in North Carolina. And it's also a history of these King Mountain mines back in 1940. I'll do another documentary on that another day, but I just wanted to come to y'all with this. So this article states Hurricane Helene shutters critical quartz mines that powers the world's electronic solar panels and AI. So it says in the small town of Spruce Pine, North Carolina, it has one of the only sources of high purity quartz on Earth, but it has been left battered by the storm's heavy rain. So, you know, we had the hurricane and all of that happen, and also it was tornadoes as well. I looked at a storm tracker for over 12 hours, and I saw where the tornadoes just kept hitting certain parts of North Carolina when the storm wasn't even on land yet. Now, you know, I know that they have modifying, you know, that instrument, if you know what I'm talking about, that plays music. I don't want to really say what it is because I don't want anything to be flagged. But I saw a video showing the different satellites right near the Gulf that can move stuff a certain way. So it's just ironic that in Asheville, it says sitting an hour northeast of Asheville, the small town of Spruce Pine, also known as the Mineral City, is a home of about 2,000 people. It contains crucial supply of quartz that is required for electronic vehicles, solar panels, and also what I'm seeing is an influx of stock in lithium. And I also saw Elon Musk talking about how to invest in lithium. So what do they know that we don't know? So I'm going to go to the first part, and I have a couple of videos. So let's just get into this video because some things smell a little fishy to me. That's all I'm saying.
Critics of the transition from the internal combustion engine to electric vehicles point out that many obstacles remain to full adoption. High costs, unknown electrical grid capacity, and importantly, access to the critical minerals necessary to create the all-important battery packs. With electric car battery technology, lithium is the key metal, and like other strategic inputs, most of the world's supply are a long way from American auto manufacturers. That, however, may be changing, as Albemarle Corporation and Caterpillar have announced a deal to collaborate on zero-emissions battery-powered mining equipment for deployment at the Kings Mountain, North Carolina lithium mine. The deal will establish Kings Mountain as the first-ever zero-emissions lithium mine site in North America. Part of the deal is a lithium offtake agreement guaranteeing lithium supplies to Caterpillar, who are actively developing battery-powered construction and mining equipment. Although not agreed on contractually, both companies will explore opportunities to collaborate on battery cell research and development of recycling technologies. The collaboration can't come too soon for American battery makers, as global lithium demand is skyrocketing. Demand is expected to reach 3.8 million tons annually by 2035, driven by battery production for electric vehicles.
So you hear that this is booming. So the stock market is booming with this lithium. People are investing in this lithium. And what we heard of our vice president, hopefully not to be president, the mandate on electrical vehicles. So they already have things in the works and plans. The same way when Hillary Clinton was going to be president and they had things already planned. And see, the Most High God, the creator of all things, he is in control. And that's one thing we have to realize. He is in control of all things. So anything that is going to try to harm his people, some things always work well. I always say this. All things work together for the good of those that love the Lord according to his purpose and his plan. So his ways are not our ways. So when we look at certain things, it could have been the musical instrument modifying machine, which also means that what evil means for good, what evil means for bad, God turned it into good. That's always how it works. Especially, I've had things in my life. You've had things in your life happen, and you're like, Lord, why did these things happen? But it turns to good in the end. So that is ironic. About this. Let's continue on listening to this, and then I have a couple of more people that are actually in North Carolina that's going to be talking about how they don't want this.
The world's largest known reserves of lithium are in Chile, currently estimated at 9.3 million metric tons, with current known reserves in the US at approximately 1 million metric tons. Economically, there's plenty of incentive for domestic American lithium production, with average prices for battery-grade lithium carbonate in 2022 averaging approximately $37,000 per metric ton, one of the reasons why electric vehicles are so expensive to manufacture. The most significant part of the Albemarle-Caterpillar collaboration, however, may not be in clean mining technology, but in lithium recycling. A very high proportion of primary steel production is recycled repeatedly, and scrap steel has been the driving force behind a renaissance in electric arc mini mill technology, making high-value steels for manufactured goods like automobiles. In the early part of the Industrial Revolution, lacking large quantities of scrap, there was a global boom in the construction of blast furnaces and coking operations to turn iron ore into carbon steel. If the energetics and costs of lithium recycling from spent electric vehicle batteries prove to be similar to the steelmaking experience, the amount of lithium carbonate and equivalent ores in the ground may not be the rate-determining factor to sustained electric vehicle production in America.
Interesting. Let's go to the next thing that I have. Let's go.
The home of aviation, the land of the pines, and in the future may be a leader again in the global lithium industry.
And this is
We're
the
here
King's
to
Mountain.
explore an old lithium mine. Like any good adventure, our first goal was to find a map.
Starting there, we're gonna go up, get a look at this big old mine that's full of rainwater now. You can maybe see a little of the Albemarle factory that refines it on the other side.
General directions acquired, we took to the trails, and after a short walk through a forest of pines, bamboo, and kudzu, we had our first look at the former mine.
So the open pit in this sign refers to a lithium mine that a company called Foot Mineral opened back in 1938. It mined lithium here until 1988, at which point the mine shut down. It's now owned by a company called Albemarle, which has a facility across the way, and they still do lithium processing, but no current mining. But for many decades, this mine was actually part of this hub of this Carolina tin spodumene belt that was really the leader in the global lithium mining industry.
It was a beautiful day, and we wanted to get a better view of the mine, so we kept hiking. The amount of kudzu cannot be overstated.
So this might not look like the hub of the global lithium mining industry. In fact, it's much more of a recreational area. They even call this Cardio Hill. But Cardio Hill is made out of the pile of rubble that was generated by the giant open pit mine when it was operational for the last 40 years in the 20th century.
Even farther up Cardio Hill, we finally got our first good look at the mine from above.
This is what it looks like when you leave a lithium pit mine open and abandoned for more than 30 years. It just fills up with rainwater. It looks like a lake. It's actually very pretty. But this mine stopped being operational before lithium-ion batteries were even on the market. And
now, wasn't it interesting for him to say that the lithium mines fill up like rainwater, and because they got so much rain, the lithium mines are going to be covered with rainwater, and I guess it may be easier for them to go in and start mining again. Just hypothetically speaking, just thinking outside of the box of what could really be going on with these lithium mines. Let's continue.
And you might wonder, what were they mining the lithium for if they didn't even know about batteries, they didn't have any electric vehicles? And it turns out, actually, the U.S. Government's nuclear weapons program was a key early customer. The lithium was used as a sort of triggering mechanism in nuclear warheads. So the U.S. Defense...
Wow. Did y'all just hear that? They were using the lithium for what? What's going on now over in Middle East? What's going on now over in Russia, Ukraine, and the threat of what? Wow. That's crazy, y'all. It's starting to seem like this may not be a conspiracy. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Industry kept this mine going throughout the Cold War years. And early on, lithium was also used for other niche applications like ceramic glazes and pharmaceuticals to treat things like bipolar disorder, as made famous in the Nirvana song, Lithium.
We spent a few more moments appreciating the view, catching our breath, and engaging in some amateur bird watching before continuing to the top of Cardio Hill, where we learned more about the history of the city of Kings Mountain, North Carolina, before heading back down Cardio Hill.
So this Kings Mountain mine shut down in 1988, and then another company, Livent Corporation, shut down its mine up the road in Bessemer City a few years later. And they were kind of part of that trend at the time of deindustrialization, heavy industry moving offshore from the US and going to other parts of the world where it could be done cheaper. The irony is now, here in the Southeast, there's this whole battery belt emerging where we have a whole network of lithium-ion battery factories, as well as electric vehicle factories, all located in this broad industrial cluster. And it turns out having an immediate, reliable supply of lithium is going to be hugely valuable to this new 21st century economy that's emerging here. Today, it's a very bucolic, kind of peaceful landscape, but Albemarle is trying to reopen mining here. There's another company down the road called Piedmont Lithium that's trying to open a new mine. It's not yet clear if those permitting processes are going to be successful for those companies, but in the next 5 or 10 years, we very well could have brand new lithium extraction happening right here in North Carolina.
So guys, you heard that about the permits. Let's go right to it. I have everything set up and lined up right now. Let's go right to it. Here we go.
Tonight, breaking news about a mining project in Gaston County that's causing controversy. Late today, state regulators granted Piedmont Lithium a mining permit. The project would mine and process lithium in a plant on about 1,500 acres near Cherryville. People in the community have been fighting the plans for years, citing noise and fear of health risks associated with lithium exposure. The company estimates the plant will create roughly 500 high-paying jobs in the area.
So now I have an Instagram video of this guy talking about it. Let's
Being in North Carolina does not sit well with me. I think something's going on. So I decided to do some digging. So the first thing I find out is North Carolina has the richest deposits of lithium in the entire world. Yeah, lithium for like cars, batteries, all that. Then I find out they have the world's highest purity quartz deposits. And that quartz just so happens to be the world's supply for AI chips, microchips, and all kinds of stuff. We're talking a $530 billion industry. So this is where it gets interesting. So a company by the name of Piedmont Lithium is awaiting a state mining permit for a site in northern Gaston County. And Gaston County is completely flooded right now. The project was awaiting zoning approval because they were getting backlash from the residents and also city officials. And this lithium mine they want would be the third largest producer of lithium in the world. And they made a deal with Tesla already. Now remember the quartz? So in Spruce Pine, North Carolina, right next to Ashland, they are wanting to expand their mines even larger. And the residents aren't having it either. Enter the floods. People, these are mountain towns. It rarely, if not ever, floods in the mountains. I would know, I grew up in the mountains in Colorado. which means none of these people have flood insurance. I mean, the media is saying biblical devastation in North Carolina, aka like the worst thing that could happen, and you're not coming back from it. Read between the lines, people. Everything happens for a reason.
I'll have to make your own, critical thinking when it comes to this. Here's someone else. Let's look at this. Let's see if we can get on it.
This is the most important mine you've never heard of. Spruce Pine is a small town in North Carolina. It's home to the only mine in the world that has quartz so pure it's a backbone in the modern computer chip industry. That super pure quartz is then turned into a crucible. That's this bowl-like thing over here. Melted silicon is put into the bowl and then slowly lifted out. That's how you make polysilicon, the purest form of polysilicon. That's then sliced into wafers. It turns into computer chips. It's put into all of the latest smartphones. But without this really, really pure quartz bowl or crucible, none of this would be possible. So if this mine were to ever shut down or production were to stop, it would have a huge impact on the entire industry. Be able to manufacture cell phones, cars, or basically anything else with a computer chip. That's wild.
Again, y'all make y'all educated, conclusions. Read between the lines. One Bible scripture I always love to say, be not deceived. He told us that 1,000,000 times in the Bible. Be not deceived. These people are wicked to the core. And what we need to do is just continue to pray. Pray for those in Helene. Pray for those in Augusta. Pray for those in parts of Florida and in Tennessee. All the places that have been hit by this catastrophic tornadoes and hurricane, because like I said, I looked at Ryan Hall. He's a meteorologist here on YouTube, and I looked at 12 hours of his stream, and the tornadoes were coming left and right, and they were hitting North Carolina. So was this really a hurricane, or was these tornadoes as well? Being that we had the category 4, which did not make landfall until after, was it 11 o'clock at night? I think it was around 11. That's when it hit landfall. Like I said, I looked at the 12 hours of his stream. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this video and got some value out of it, and kind of see what's really going on and why our vice president is only giving them $750 a smack in the face, and also not even allowing civilians and patriots to help people. And I may put up a video about that, where certain people that had helicopters that have worked in, first responder and different things like that, retired people that know how to rescue people, they were threatened with being locked up if they will go and help the people. And I think that's disgusting. So what's really going on here? Is it more of the Bill Gates Depop, agenda, or is it something more sinister, which Depop is sinister in itself, but is it something more sinister, like a land grab for riches to make more money? The same way with the strikes, people want more money. For the root of all evil is the love of money. The love of money is the root of all evil, and we see that time and time again. When people love money, like the lady said, the video, she said, you can't eat money. When you ain't got no food, you ain't got no water, you can't eat money. But I'm not going to go on with a more tangent rant, because I'll go on and on. But make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you won't miss no more of my videos. I'm ramped up. I'm ready to get back into these videos. And my platform is changing more into the concrete truth. tied with a little bit of biblical knowledge to get everybody prepared for what we're about to see and what we're about to experience on this earth. We have to be prepared. I love y'all so much. Always remember, keep the Most High God first. Let's love on one another. Let's pray for one another. And let's fervently pray that our land will be healed if we just turn our faces back to our Creator. I love y'all so much. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful, wonderful day.